do a little rigging today. I'm going to start out with this 723. This is a home water rod, feta stick spinning. It's very stiff rod, good for bass, good for good hook sets. And I ran my Senko setup off of this. So all I do is very simple. Is I start with this. Today, because of the wind, I did it with a lead head jig. Normally when I do a Senko, I like a dead line, so just like a #1 hook, pinned in the center of the Senko. This is Senko worm. Very common, most guys know what these are. And a goofy hook set, and this you can see we use this one, is just pin them through the center. So I just tied a jig on and then tied it through the center. The reason I use the jig lead is because of the wind, and we just could drag along the bottom and keep it down there. Normally if I could sit in still water and sit in one spot, I do just a dead line, no weight, and it's very deadly, very natural drop. So that was the spinning setup. Now on my bait cast, it's a little more complicated. So I got a 704 bait cast. It's another home water rod. And then on this one I have a brand new Tactica from Tika. This is a KJ50H. It's a 7-to-1 12 ball bearing level wind reel, and it's the first time I used it, and it worked flawless. I didn't have any backlashes, good casting distance, and smooth and great drag. So on this one I ran a tube bait, and on both of these I'm running 10-pound P-line. This is CX Premium in a moss green 10-pound. Bob said he likes 8, but I like the CX line because it's very supple, it's very soft and a little thinner than the CXX Extra Strong. So for casting off the casting rod and off spin rods, it works real good on light stuff. So what I do is we get a jig like this, and you can do different style hooks, but basically you want a lead head or a non-lead head, a screw piece to hold the plastic, and if you don't have a lead head like this, you can do like a bullet weight, and it'll slide down. But the key to the bullet weight is you want it to go over the knot and sit right on top of your tube, flat, flush. So with this one, what I do is I'm fishing tubes, and tube baits are really, really good baits on bass. They really imitate a crawdad real well. But one of the little secret tweaks that Bonner gave me last night, and I'm giving this secret out, but this ain't a big deal, is I take a chunk of worm, just regular, you know, rubber worm. I take a chunk off it, and I shove that thing inside my tube, and in a second you're going to realize why I do this, and it's a great little tweak. And for you guys that actually run tube baits and lose a lot, this will help you not lose so many. And so I push that chunk up into the head of this tube bait, and then when it gets to the top there, it's wanting to displace air, so boom, so now I got it. So let's assume I've already tied this on. So you just tie the jig right on the line. It's real easy. So we're just going to skip that part because I know you're an educated audience. And so here we go. So I got that piece stuck up in that. It's almost to the tip there. So I just force it in there a little bit. Make sure there's not a gap there. Push that straight in, and then you twist it on. That little twisty spring holds that on. But what happens when I stuck that chunk of worm in there, that acts like a nut on the back of the bolt. You got the bolt screwing into the tube bait, but then I got that chunk of worm that acts like a nut on the backside, or a washer, which holds that piece from ripping out so much. And if it does rip out, I can still shove it in there and get a few more casts out of it. Then all I do is kind of measure up where the hook's going to come in, bend it down, so when I'm done, it's natural. And then I don't let it come out down. It's a little bit weedless that way too. So the trick to the tube is you just want it to kind of go down straight as I was dragging along the bottom. You don't want it to turn, twist, and do back and forth. They don't seem to like it that. Anyway, that's what I've been told. But I'm a fast learner, and when the guys know what they're doing, you listen. And there it is. That's the one that got the big ones for me today. Yesterday I ran Senko, today I ran tube. And the tube, I don't know, it's about equal, but it worked really good. And I want to thank Mr. Bonner for that one. Cool. And that's your rigging of the day. Oh, wait. My spin reels, 2500 scramblers. Everybody wonders what these black reels I run all the time, and that's what they are. I'm running 2500 scramblers. I've been running them 3-4 years now, and this one's probably a 4-year-old reel, and I'm still running it. Because I got 4 new ones. I can't tell the new ones from the old ones. Pretty good reels.